important to business and industry, and that adult education and GED prep. And obviously, we are focused on the jobs that we think are high skill, high wage, and high demand. So as we prioritize what we do, and as you prioritize what you do, that's where we need to put our focus. Now, in 30 days, we will have from the Center for Business and Economic Research at the University of Alabama data broken down by each one of our workforce regions, including yours. It will tell us exactly how many workers we need broken down by different fields. So we'll know how many healthcare workers you need within that, how many need to be RNs, and how many need to be LPNs. And that will help drive your decision making on where you think your resources need to be maximized through your high school and through the college. Now, we are transitioning to a new economy in Alabama. You are here as well. The textile industry, the apparel industry is disappearing. We can't compete with China. China's having a hard time competing with Vietnam because of the wage rates. We know that. It's a fact of life. But there's a way to transition from the economy we've been in to the economy we're going to be that actually makes us winners. I grew up in Mobile. I always thought that the air was supposed to smell that way until they shut down the 2 paper mills. We lost the smell of our air, and we lost thousands of high-paying jobs. And people thought it was the end for Mobile. And then Neil Wade showed up and got his ThyssenKrupp, all these new shipbuilding jobs and jet airplanes. And now people in Mobile have the opportunity to get high-paying jobs that they didn't have even when we had the 2 paper mills. The same thing is happening all over Alabama and here in Marshall County. The opportunities are there to help people transition to that economy. It's a high-tech economy. Every kid in high school needs to take some sort of a technology course. I don't mean biology, I mean technology, so that they can learn basic technological stuff, even if they're going to go off to school and be something that doesn't necessarily directly use technology. Biotech, a huge deal for Huntsville area. Let me say this. I said this to the elected officials and the business leaders of Madison County. Madison County cannot contain its growth. It's not possible. It's going to spill over to Marshall County. It's going to spill over to Limestone County. It's going to spill over to Morgan County. It's going to spill over to Coleman County, and Jackson County, and DeKalb County. It cannot contain that much growth. So some of what's being developed there is going to walk off over into this area. And we don't really know what's going to come out of that Hudson Alpha Institute. It's going to be big, but there is no way to quantify. When I met with the gentleman that runs the Hudson Alpha Institute, I asked him, do most of the people that you're going to be hiring in these different businesses, do they need a baccalaureate degree? No, most of them will need a 2-year college tech degree. That's what they're looking for, tech workers. Healthcare, I mentioned earlier. Durable goods manufacturing. If you look at the way they characterize manufacturing in the demographic data, we talk about non-durable goods and durable goods manufacturing. We're losing non-durable good manufacturing jobs in Alabama. You see people say you're losing manufacturing jobs, that's what we're losing. We're gaining durable manufacturing jobs. Automobiles, jet airplanes, ships, rockets over in Decatur, etc. We are actually gaining durable goods manufacturing, which are the higher-end, higher-tech jobs. In that environment, you have to have substantial education opportunities for people because you can't get those jobs, fill the needs of those jobs without at least a high school diploma or a GED and some post-secondary technical training. This is a report from Alabama Rise that came out earlier this year. Too few Alabama workers have the skills needed to compete in this changing economy. Half of Alabamians aged 25 to 54 only have a high school diploma or less. Only a third of Alabamians aged 25 to 54 have an associate's degree or higher. There's the challenge in front of all of us in the state. We can't afford minimal education anymore. We've got to have a strategy in each of our communities and statewide where everybody gets that high school diploma or GED. We've got to get everybody through high school. A 38% dropout rate is a recipe for disaster. Our problem with educational budgeting is that we run to the legislature and say, give us all the money that's been projected by the legislative fiscal office, and they give it to us. And then when things don't go quite as well as the projections are, we have to cut back. We've got $2 billion more in the education fund this year than we had 4 years ago. And we're cutting back because we didn't budget very well. The problem with our revenue for education in Alabama is not that we have not enough revenue, it's that we budgeted it poorly. We've got to do better. We've balkanized education in Montgomery. I mean, four-year colleges come rushing down to Montgomery to fight K-12. K-12 fights four-year colleges. Two-year colleges fight four-year colleges. Four-year colleges fight among themselves. And we expect these two gentlemen over here to sort all that out. That's not their job to sort it out. It's our job to sort it out among all of us in education. We need to learn how to work together better. When we push more cuts on the higher education, the theory is that higher education picks it up by increasing tuition. Somebody pays tuition. I've got a daughter at the University of Alabama. I'm paying it. Now, if my daughter, I wasn't able to provide that for my daughter, and she was going out to have to borrow the money to do it, she would ultimately pay it. I mean, we have pushed the cost of higher education more and more onto students who have fewer assets to do it. And they're graduating more and more of them with higher debt loads. That is reducing access to higher education at the very time when we need to be increasing access. The key to competitiveness is that we have got to understand that two-year colleges are the indispensable piece of education. This is a new report that's going to have something. We know we've got to increase our associate's degrees in our state by 25% and our bachelor's degrees by 20%. We've got to reach out to new students. Baby boomers. I'm a baby boomer. We all thought we were retiring at age 60. And then our kids cost too much, or our stock portfolio didn't do as well as we thought, or whatever it is, we need to find them out. Boomers are now going to work at least age 70. And most of them are having to be retrained to take advantage of the jobs that are out there. We've got people who are semi-retired. They go out of retirement, find out they can't afford retirement, and need to come back and find some skills to get a job. Underemployed. Underemployed people are folks that are out there who don't have the education or training that if they had it, they could be doing it. They have the mental capacity to do it. They simply don't have the education or training to do it. And that means our undereducated group in Alabama, and 500,000 who don't have a high school diploma. Prisons. We have a lot of built-up talent that's sitting around in prisons that we're not doing anything with. Now, some of them have talents we don't want them to do anything with. But it's amazing how many workers we produce for the shipyards and we'll wheel out of our prison education program down in prison now. And I've talked to the people at the shipyards, and they tell me some of the best workers they've got. So we need to be thinking about that as well. As we evolve the new economy, we've got to realize that all education is workforce development, like Dan kindergartners or pre-kindergartners. We've got to understand we're developing people. And they come to us in all shapes and sizes and in different parts of life and they're in different facets of their life. We announced new scholarships yesterday to the Nursing Home Association for LPNs. We had 2 LPNs that just finished one of our LPN programs. Both of them single mothers with kids working their way through school. That's the new workers that we're going to have to reach out to. We've got to reach out to them in whatever stage of life they are. We've got to reach everybody and maximize their possibilities no matter where they are.